Stocks are crashing and traders are cashing out. Is there going to be more downside ahead or this massive M? Well, this question really matters. Why did the US wipe out $4 trillion and what does it mean for the global economy? I think the answer is pretty simple. Extreme fear. Why? Look at the tape. It's red today. It's red in the last week. Man, it's pretty red out there. Look at year to date. Ouch. My eyes are sore. Looking here to Trump. 25% tariffs tomorrow kick in at midnight. No exemptions. This is really curious because, wow, right, we got rebuttals, we got Canada, 25% surcharge has now been removed. Man, this is really interesting. They're going to be meeting on Thursday. Fast forwarding to what matters now, we got CPI coming in tomorrow. And this really matters because there might not have actually been that much progress lately. If we look here, low, higher, 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 higher. Looks like the progress we were making on inflation is now all but gone. It's actually going up. And these current policies, they're not going to help. Mohammed Al-Arian is also telling us that U.S. exceptionalism might be at risk because of policy uncertainty. What does that mean? The Trump put and the Powell put, those might be at risk. And the biggest trading partner for the U.S., by Canada, is adding pressure to a $1.6 trillion pension pot. Okay, cool. And all right, what else? Well, here we note that the S&P losses reverse as Canada and Ukraine tensions ease. What does that mean? Ukraine agrees to a ceasefire, and we're going to see if it's going to last for 30 days. It's currently contingent on this country accepting. Are they not going to? I think that'll be very interesting. Fast forwarding here to the quote for today, March 11th, volatile trading leaves U.S. stocks on the doorstep of a correction. This correction has happened really, really fast. I want to read this quote right here because this encapsulates exactly what I've been talking about for the last few videos. The bears are in control right now, and every time the market tries to bounce, we just see another violent leg lower. If this continues, fast forward a few more days, we are looking at a complete change in the environment from a bull market to a bear market. What does that mean? More downside. If you look here to the weekly chart for the S&P, I talked about this pattern. It doesn't make me feel good looking at it, but I don't want to ignore it either. Looking at the 50 MA here, man, if that level blows out, look out below. The bear market might be here. That is a lot of pain for a long time, all inside of here. Took us a long time to get back to where we started too, a couple of years. Great. So what does the global economy look like? I think we have to wait, even though we're fearful. We have to wait until we get to April. I think this is a buy the dip opportunity, but I'm also not going to be blindly bullish. So what does that mean? I'm going to listen to what people are saying, but I am going to make a plan. Just because Trump says he does not see a recession does not mean I believe him. Why? It's where we're headed right now. With inflation going up and slow growth or no growth, that's called stagflation. That is really bad. So we have a lot of uncertainty. What does the stock market love? It loves certainty. So because that's what we're lacking, I'm not sure we're really going to have a lot of progress. All right. Moving forward. All right. So global peace. Well, we're going to find out whether it is bullish or bearish because as of right now, we're still selling, right? Sell the rip. Sell first, ask questions later. Here are the dates that are summarized that we reviewed on the weekend. So we now got through this one here. We're noting that the critical minerals deal is going to go through and we'll see whether we get a ceasefire from the other party. Tomorrow, March 12th, that's right, we're getting tariffs. And then we got the CPI we talked about, 10-year auction. And then we move forward to PPI and the government shutdown going into Friday. All right, cool. This is what I think the issue is all about. Going back to October, right around the election, US's efforts to contain Xi's push for tech supremacy are faltering. Why? The world outside the US is increasingly driving Chinese cars, scrolling the web on their phones, and powering their homes with solar panels. So the keyword here is outside of the US. The US is not aware of what's happening. Why? They don't care. They only care about themselves. And if you only care about yourselves, this is what you should care about. Look at all the headlines we got from Saudis right now. US and China discuss a Trump-Xi meeting in June. It's not been formalized yet, but we're making progress. I'm going to ask you for a huge favor. If you could please consider smashing that thumbs up or subscribing to the channel, I would really, really appreciate that. So it appears like there's even more progress being made by this other country, right? China's new silicon-free chip beats Intel with 40% less speed and 10% less energy. So whether we believe it or not, some investors are starting to sell. We can see it right here on the tape. Look at the big sell bars. This does not look pretty. It's a head and shoulders in the making. And on the monthly chart, we've talked about this. Until we reclaim 583, it is best for us to be patient. What does patience mean? It means even if your individual names are holding up better than others, like QQQ was today, it is a race to the bottom. Some stocks can go up in spite of the S&P going down. That is not common. Right now, if we look at this pattern here, it's blown out the 200 MA. This is the NASDAQ. If now we look here to the Russell, another really important ETF, same thing. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. So once we lost the 200, there was not even really a stop. Lower highs, lower lows. That's the quote we talked about. We're increasingly going down, and we're going down faster and faster. Look where we got to. If the S&P repeats this pattern, I can give you a target. It should be no surprise to you, though. To the bottom of the M. It's roughly 500. Maybe we get a pit stop here. That would be roughly 550. That's a really important area. Look at QQQ. Man, this thing's washing out pretty fast. Blew out the 161. Now let's go back to S&P. Why? Because now it's queuing something up for me here. So as we look here, we were still resting on this area into the close. And then Trump and Musk were just talking for about an hour, and the market just faded. I just faded for the close the whole time, the whole last hour there. All right, so what does that mean? It means the good news is now being discounted. Sell the rip. Sell first, ask questions later. That's what the market is telling us. It's not me telling you that. Look at the feedback. Volume is ramping up. So as we have more uncertainty, people are starting to sell first and ask questions later. Let's now look to one more risk asset because if you want to see the king of volatility, oh my God, look at Bitcoin. Up, down, all around. Man, this thing is so violent. It's now up by 5%. It's now back to the 200 DMA. Why does that matter? Remember, the S&P just lost it. For how many days now? 2 days in a row. Oh, crap. Isn't that when we can do a trend change? Absolutely. That's exactly what I look for. 2 consecutive candle closes below a moving average. And now we're below the long-term price. So that's the bear. Let's look here to the weekly for the S&P. Why? Look at the 50 MA. That's 1 candle close below if that's all we get. All right, why does that matter? Look at the number, 56393, roughly 564. Let's now go to our high of the day today, 564.02. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. So what this is really telling me is that all the bulls could muster today was a rally back up to the 50 MA. We could not even kiss last week's low, let alone any higher. There's very little progress being made right now. And the volume is mostly on the bear side. So what I would encourage you to do is that if you're in doubt, you zoom out and look at higher time frames. I'm going to leave you with a video now which should give you more context in terms of the bear market potential. And if not, thank you very much for tuning in.